Welcome to Grumpy Wolf Reacts. I am Grumpy Wolf. Today I'm reacting to Ren Eden. There will be a link in the description down below to the video. This isn't really a song, but it's an interesting story. I like his take on it. And the message at the end I feel is the most important part of this whole thing. So I want to get that bit out there at the very least. I have seen this, and it's not really something to sing to at the end, so it's going to be a one watch, pause and talk as we go. I might instead just wait till the end of the story before it gets to the message I think is the most important bit and talk about this side of things, and then after that's done, talk about that side of things. Yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm even more adamant now about who I react to with all the stuff I see going down right now with other reactors. So only independent artists, please recommend. Any connections to labels that are greedy, I'm not going to touch. Sorry. They deserve the light too, but I don't want to go through the drama. Make sure you use that link down below. Go follow Ren and like and subscribe. Yeah, he has a lot of stuff out already. I've seen almost everything, so that's why these are rewatches.
Oldest time, the story of Adam and Eve. It starts with a God who worried. Let me tell you a story as old as time, the story of Adam and Eve. It starts with a God who wanted more. God had just created the heavens and the earth. He had the angels by his side, but they had no will of their own, and so the autonomy to love or reject him was never theirs. All but for one. The one's called Bringer of Light. Lucifer, morning star. Lucifer was the fairest and most intelligent of all the angels. He was the closest thing to God's image, and in his likeness, Lucifer felt restless. He began to question and doubt God. He doubted the hierarchy opposed upon him. He felt God was arrogant. In his frustration, Lucifer built a throne that stood even above God's and declared mutiny. A war ensued. God, being all-powerful, came out the victor and banished Lucifer from the heavens and exiled him to earth. Once again, God was alone with his power. Perhaps from loneliness, perhaps from curiosity, perhaps from a desire to share love, God began to work on his greatest project yet, a being that would mirror himself, the human, two humans specifically, Adam and Eve. They were placed inside a paradise built for them on earth, the Garden of Eden. In the garden, God placed a tree that bared fruit that would grant anyone who ate it powers bestowed only to a God to tell good from evil, left from right, to live righteously or to sin. He named this the tree of knowledge. God told Adam and Eve they could eat whatever they wanted in the garden, but never the fruit from the tree of knowledge. And if they disobeyed him, it would be punishable by death. The basic way the story of Eden is told is that Eve was tempted by Lucifer in the form of a serpent to eat a fruit from the tree of knowledge. Convinced, she bit the fruit. She passed it to Adam, and he did the same. Suddenly, ultimate knowledge filled their minds, and they realized they were naked and felt shame. God discovered this betrayal and felt angry. He exiled Adam and Eve and cursed them with the life of a mortal. They would work, they would bear children, and they would die. The fate of a human. Now look deeper.
In the story, the serpent tempted me by telling me I would gain ultimate knowledge and that God would spare me.
Both were true.
This wasn't some great deception, meaning that Satan, in the likeliness of God, perhaps understood his intentions. In fact,
The only lie uttered in the
Garden of Eden was
by God, who did not end up
condemning
Adam and Eve to death.
death.
This could be seen as an act of
Mercy, but the sheer fact that the tree existed and that humans
were initially cut off from this knowledge.
may imply some part of God was afraid that if humans were granted the gift of perception, they, like Lucifer, would have the power to reject him too. The fact that there stood a beautiful tree that could
grant this knowledge in the first place
implies that a small part of
God, supposedly all-knowing,
perhaps wanted and intended
the humans to
bite too.
In the Bible, Satan was an exiled angel of free will. Humans are exiled
descendants of Adam and Eve.
also with free will. Not only have we shared a similar fate to the devil, we were also both constructed in the
We're
image of
also
our
both
Creator,
constructed in the image of our Creator.
meaning our behaviors, in some shape or form, imperfectly echo his.
We could assume that this kind of
God has his doubts, but as the most
Powerful being in the universe
he has no one above him
to turn to with questions, and no one to
Doubt but himself, an incredibly lonely and isolating existence.
We must only assume that the common thread between God, Lucifer, and us is the desire for more, an eternal curiosity, a desire perhaps birthed from a seed of loneliness. If not, why would we exist in the first place? The constantly looping, bittersweet irony is whether gifted by some omnipotent God or simply a byproduct of billions of years of evolution, here we stand, in 2023, as creatures with free will, the only creatures that understand and define good from bad, creatures with the potential of a God. And what do we do with that free will, my friend?
Now it's getting into the deeper, more important side of the message, in my opinion. I like his take on the story of Eden. I've watched a reaction that a pastor or preacher, not really sure about the differences in those titles or anything, but they were a man of faith, and they disputed a few of his looks on things, but overall they appreciated his insights to it. I like how it was kind of old school game feel to the graphics or looks of the video. Parts of it get hard to hear when the voices either start overlapping or warped. But if you need to catch those, you could go back and watch it on his channel. This next bit is, I think, the eye-opening point of things. Like, if that's the faith you follow and we're living in a world like this, what would, like, lately I've been looking at it as if Jesus was alive today and had Elon Musk's money. Would he be using it to build more money, or would he be using it to build up all the people around them? And it's, I don't know, just shows the hypocrisy of some people who follow faith. Because they will put these rich idiots up on pedestals like they've done something great by hoarding all this wealth for themselves instead of building up society around them.
Friends, we willingly walk to the edge of a cliff. In the name of progress, we jump off the precipice. The empires we build ravage the earth. The natural order of things are necessary to survive. Any systems which do not honor homeostasis eventually perish. Our free will overrides our own biological instinct. We can take more than we eat. We can kill more than we need. We can willingly create weapons with the potential to burn everything we've bill to the ground. We willingly decide to bow at the altar of greed, the most insidious and destructive of all sins. We put our faith in corporations who pose as rulers. We willingly allow ourselves to be led by outdated power systems ran by corrupted politicians and bloated dictators who claim domain and dominion over an open and free land. We willingly elect the corrupted when the decision was always ours to build something better. We willingly create and impose separation because of beliefs that we are force-fed through our phones and television sets. We always had the will to reject these things, but we adhere to them as though they were the laws of physics. War, famine, pestilence, greed, these aren't things imposed upon us by an all-powerful God or by his demonic adversary. They are here because of us, not because of free will, but because of our inability to use it. We must be motivated to be better, not out of fear of punishment of an eternal damnation, but because the choice exists, because we love ourselves, because we have the power to absolve ourselves of so much unnecessary suffering. Take a second to be in this very moment. In this moment, how much suffering?
Okay, let's get back into what he just went through there. Like, all of this going on in the world, the good, the evil. My biggest gripe or dislike of religion is the hypocrisy of it all. Where they could say all these things, or the even more annoying side of things is where, to me personally, this is what I believe. I don't think everyone needs to have my opinions, but I'm going to say them. Where they give God the credit for everything good in their life, and then when it comes to the bad things, it's their fault. If you're giving God credit for all the good, he also needs to be given credit for all the bad. How I personally see it, if there is a God, they're just watching us to see if we do follow the teachings. He's not there to fix or give us anything. Just there to see if we're capable of following through and producing this paradise on earth where we all live in harmony. And as long as we let the hate keep repeating itself over and over, it's never going to change. And we have failed. People like Ren are here to inspire us to change, shine light on the things we're afraid to talk about, or that we are told are taboo to talk about, when in reality there should be no taboo topics. We should just be able to talk about these things openly, respectfully, without it feeling like an attack on yourself or your belief or whatever the case may be. People are allowed differences of opinion, and listening to the other side helps broaden your thinking. It creates critical thinking, which the people in power don't want us to have. If we think critically, we will not agree with a lot of the stupid bullshit they're trying to pull over our eyes.
But because the choice exists, because we love ourselves, because we have the power to absolve ourselves of so much unnecessary suffering. Take a second to be in this very moment. In this moment, how much suffering is happening all over the planet right now? How many people are dying of illnesses that could have easily been cured, but aren't because of the selfishness and greediness of humanity? How many people break their backs and reject their own passions to simply afford bills and food? How How many of us crave distraction from existence? How many of us numb that pain in whatever way necessary? How many children are being abused? How many people sleep cold and hungry on the streets? How many of us become cogs inside a machine that is destroying itself? How many soldiers have been forced to fight in meaningless wars? How many humans have killed for ideals they don't believe in or understand? How many people have died for the greed of another man? And how much of this was avoidable? As written in the Bible, Satan was not condemned to hell. Satan was condemned to earth. He lives there amongst other creatures with free will, who always had the choice and still chose their own undoing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our self-made hell. The bittersweet irony is this is a creation of our own design. I'll leave you with this. Consider what you have done here today. You have worked together as individuals collaborating to form a giant neural network, a hive mind capable of achieving incredible things. We have lent on each other's strengths to solve puzzles and decipher riddles, and we've done so to win money. Imagine applying that same spirit and determination to creating the closest thing we have to paradise here on Earth. By using the power of collaboration, we can work together to even the playing field for everybody. Our dystopias can become utopias. Our Jahannams can become Jannah. Our hells can become heaven, right here on Earth. And this sentiment applies to atheists, agnostics, and believers alike. Myself, I'm an agnostic who believes. I believe in us. We must do better because we can choose to. We must be better simply because the option exists. Thank you.
That right there, that ending statement is the most important thing, in my opinion, in all of this. We're going to do it again.
Who believes? I believe in us. We must do better because we can choose to.
Yes.
We must be better simply because the option exists.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ren. Such an important message. Even if you don't agree or the beginning bit isn't part of your specific faith, you don't have to acknowledge that bit. But the last half of that, where he's just talking about the world around us, that could apply to everyone. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's these things, watching these things and paying attention to what's being said and being open to it, even though some of it goes against what I was believing at the time. Help me become more open-minded to everything around me. I might not change my opinions on things, but I'm willing to listen to opposing opinions, because at the very least it helps me see things from their point of view. And when you're able to do that, you're able to have an objective conversation with the other side. And when it comes to, I feel like that's why they don't talk politics, don't talk religion, because when it comes down to it, if we could start talking respectfully to opposing views, that's one less tool they have to divide us. By letting them separate us in all these different categories, it's just willingly letting them segregate us. And it's not what we're meant to be. There was a God, and he put all of these different people here, and he is all-knowing and would know we would come to these challenges. And I feel we have failed every challenge we have come to because we've let everything divide us instead of let our differences, ignore the differences and pay attention to the things we have in common, the things that will make us live longer, help us be happy, have actual lives. I could go on forever. I need to stop. All right. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Again, make sure you go show Ren love, like, subscribe on his page. Yeah. If I keep going, I will rant for hours about this stuff, and y'all don't want to hear it. Thank you so much for stopping by. Until next time, share the love. Everyone wins. Grumpy Wolf.